Hi, this is Kat Besh, Director of Vietnam Animal Aid and Rescue. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this and in the spirit of being honest and raw in the moment, and having to deal with the parade of trolls coming at me right now. So before everything gets really distorted, there was a cow rescue that we were trying to help with. Because from what I know, and I'm frankly hoping I'm wrong, that we're the only farm sanctuary in the country. I always say that, but in the back of my mind, I'm just like, I don't know, are we? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, from all that I know, we are the only farm sanctuary in the country, and a rescue up the road, the Da Nang rescue, that has been around for frankly far too long, had offered us, had come to us asking us if we could take the cow. So this is the contact that we had. I was told by their volunteer who speaks English, who is in South Africa, and I'm in Costa Rica after 2 ankle surgeries, my foot up, laying in bed right now, that there was a cow that needed help. And I'm like, well, I have a 3-stall barn and there's 2 pigs in it. So I have an extra stall. So obviously I'm the one that takes it. Again, all that I know, we're the only vegan organization. We're the only animal rights organization, not animal welfare. So we're not those people that are just like, save doggies in the dog meat trade, but like, no, that bacon's cool. Like, give him an extra foot or whatever. But like, you can totally put a knife in his fucking throat when he's 6 months old. So we're not really those people. So I thought, well, who better to take the cow than us? We actually originally built that barn for cows. And that rescue fell through thanks to another local rescue group. That's another one. That was from Saigon. But anyway, so that was like 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago that rescue fell through. But we've used the barn. We've been using the barn for pigs, and now we have this opportunity. So we've got the property. It's not that big, and we very much are trying to move out to a larger space because farm sanctuary, like, stuff is kind of where I really want to focus all of our attention on, because that's a kind of a sector that is really not being addressed at all in Vietnam. Because everybody only wants to talk about the dog meat trade, even though that's like, well, a tiny percentage of the animals that are murdered needlessly every year for human consumption. So farm sanctuary is like a really big cause. It's a big cause in New York, it's a big cause in, Scotland, it is a big cause in Germany. It's something that needs to be done all over the world. This is something that gives everybody the opportunity to say, oh, I want to come see your dogs. And then we happen to have all these farmed animals that they would normally go to eat at lunch. And I'm like, hey, meet Juju Bear. He's my son. He stabbed me in the face when I was kissing him. And I still love him like my baby. Like, hang out with him. He likes his butt scratched like this. And this is Louise. This is my best friend, the chicken. And she is probably the oldest chicken in the country. And we would never use her or her eggs for anything because they're hers. Her life, her body, everything about it is hers. And so people get that interaction in a farm sanctuary that they would never get in a dog shelter. And frankly, none of the dog cat rescues ever talk about other animals anyway. None of the organizations. And if they do, they're just like, hey, eat a free range egg. Oh, hey, I don't know. Don't fucking eat eggs. Crazy shit, right? Right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Not eat an egg? I don't know. How do I not eat my phone? Well, don't put it in your mouth. Okay. So it's very frustrating to not be able to focus on that. So the calf was something that we have the ability to do. Is it cheap? No. When was the last time you took care of a cow? I don't know. They're not all that inexpensive. It's not something that we just have money sitting around for. Yeah, we're really trying to get off that property, so I really didn't want to take any more animals, but this is a situation just like in all rescue. Shit comes up, we have to just deal with it as it comes, right? So this is just like an emergency situation. So what do I have to do? Here's the thing. I'm a foreign organization. Our bank accounts are the United States. We're an American 501c3 organization, so we have a nonprofit checking account in the United States. Duh, right? We have a PayPal, we have a GoFundMe. We're trying to move into this other slightly ridiculous donor management system, which is also American, but it makes it a little bit easier as like for a whole lot of reasons, like for taxes and emails and all of this shit. So anyway, So we have all these things that are in the United States. So our funds go to that account. So if you're European, you don't know what it's like to have to move money around as an American. If you live in Vietnam and you don't have to move money internationally, you also don't know. Yeah, for me, this is not all that fast. So what happens the moment we find out about something that we might have to spend a lot of money on? What do? We fundraise for it. Yeah, why? Because we live freaking day to day. This is hard ass work. Yeah, so we really, really, really need some kind of push when this happens so that when it comes, we're ready. Why? We have to quarantine the cow, right? So the cow has to go to a separate property. They initially diagnosed, I use that term loosely when we're talking about local vets because they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. So they diagnosed him with Pasteurella. So this is something that is contagious. I can't have any of my other animals having any contact with an animal that potentially has a contagious disease. They then backtrack on that and said he wasn't sick, but frankly, who knows? We've had all kinds of crazy shit come out of local vets. So the only safe and responsible thing to do is quarantine, right? Which is what everybody needs to be doing all the time. Every rescue shelter in every country, all over the world, even with good vets, just quarantine, right? This is super important. Have we not learned that about that this year? Come on. So anyway, getting ready to quarantine. What do we have to do for that? Well, it's going to cost us money. Why? Because we have to get a different plot of land. So we got to rent that plot of land. Then we have to put fencing up, right? Well, what are we going to do? Just have like the cow out there in the sun all day? No. So we have to build a little shelter on that piece of property. So all of this has to happen like lickety split. P.S. My staff have other shit to do. So this is going to be really hard to get them to all do this, manage this thing to get this cow ready to move over there. But first, 100%, first thing we got to do is get the money to pay for them to get that place ready so that they can be quarantining the animal as soon as possible. The animal gets away from the local veterinarian who is doing God knows what. Last I heard, they were feeding him rice and vegetable stir fry because that's like brilliant for a cow or whatever. So the whole thing has just gotten completely out of control, right? So anyway, did what I could. I got fucking attacked by them. So the local rescue group immediately said, take all your posts down. P.S. took me freaking, like 6 to 8 hours to schedule posts, schedule emails, get all of the media ready, write the blog post. Like, you don't understand. Fundraising is not just like, hey, let me put something on my Instagram story. Hey, can you guys drop $5 here and there? We're talking $1,500 freaking dollars. This is a lot of money for us. Our budget is like $4,000 to $5,000 a month. So $1,500 is a big chunk of that, right? And we also have extra staff this month. Well, we had a staff changeover. This is a shit ton of money this month, right before Tet. Not easy, right? So anyway, so we've got to go through this shit of fundraising. I went through all of this and immediately got attacked by them saying, take all your posts down, you can't fundraise, blah, 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 you can't use our pictures. P.S. I tagged you, so that's like how that works. And you came to me asking for help. So you got a problem with that? So I took all of them down and we've just given up on all of this, right? Frankly, it's good because this is what has been happening for years. Yeah, this is not the first animal they've asked me to take. We've taken a whole bunch of them. When we had the veterinary clinic, we did sterilization programs for them. We did eventually charge them a tiny amount of money, but it was like, it didn't cover the freaking swabs that we use in the surgery. I mean, it was an absolutely useless amount of money. It was like $5 for a sterilization, which is bullshit if you know anything about how much it costs to supply a surgery. Anyway, so we had charged them for that, but like we were getting nothing. We were taking a whole bunch of animals in that, whatever. I have to fundraise to handle all of those vet bills. I have to pay for the building. I have to pay for the staff. I have to pay for all of the lights to stay on. I got to pay for all of this shit, right? So anyway, didn't get any money for that. That's fine. That's fine. Right? But that's what we do. My job is to take care of the animals. I don't work for people. I work for animals, right? 100%. This is my constituency. Animals. So I did whatever I could to help the animals, and I just kind of had to put it out of my head. I was like, they're such a fucking pain in the ass to deal with. But I was like, no, it's fine. I've had animals that have come to me And see, one of my favorites was the one that had both of his back feet run over. God knows what the real story is. He was sent. They sent him to a vet who left him in a wire cage out in the sunshine with these little old bandages on him, where he had like little nubs for legs, and so they were like little bone and rotten shit sticking out. And he was laying in his own piss and shit. Yeah, did he have water? No, no. Why would you give him water? I mean, but so they left him at this vet, and they were like, "Hey, go get him." And I'm like, "Okay." Whatever. So we ended up having to take this animal who was really fucking sick, had to be treated for what? How long did we have him? He had blood parasites, so we had to keep him for 6 weeks just on the medication to get him healthy from blood parasites before we could even do a double amputation. Right? Super fun. Yeah. Did they pay for that? Of course they didn't pay for it. So they were like, "Oh well, we'll pay for the cow." Really? Will you? Oh, okay, that's funny because no, you don't. You never have. You've never fucking given us any money for any of the animals you've left with us. Don't give me this shit. So I fundraise, I get in trouble, they're attacking me, and you know what? Gloves off. Fuck off. I'm done. I'm done. I've done this shit for too long. I've been in this industry for 8 years in Vietnam. I don't make diddly squat for money, and neither do any of my staff. We have to put up with the trolls. We got to put up with the people attacking us for being vegans because, like, oh, let's love puppies, but enjoy that bacon. We get to put up with a lot of shit, and it's hot, sweaty, it's hard work. We watch preventable suffering and death for a living, and we do it for nothing, and we get shit for it all the time. And we have to deal with people that don't know what they're doing and are just like, "Yay, I hoarded a herd of kittens. Look at all my rotten kittens with all the snot coming out of their faces. Yeah, it's amazing. Look how amazing I am. I'm a hero for the animals. Love me, love me, love me. Money, 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 money." Right. So that's what we fucking deal with. So if you want to give me shit for it, go ahead. Go ahead. Walk a day in my shoes. I'm sick of this crap. Yeah, I don't. You're not paying me enough to be adorable. That's the reality. I'm doing the best I can. It's obviously not enough. It's never been enough to do the best that I can. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. It is an absolute failure. All of the work that I've done, and I'm fully aware of it. So you don't have to point your little finger at me. But I am busting my ass to make this work. And I've pulled this off for 8 years in the best way I possibly could. And no matter what, we're up against a lot. And I don't need any more shit from the peanut gallery. So thank you. This is my admission to everything. I need it out there. And if you can do with it what you want, but I'm gonna have to turn off comments because I know what's about to come. Yeah, this is a horrible situation. The cow, God knows where the cow is gonna end up. This always ends up being what happens. The victim of this baby mama drama bullshit, dealing with a bunch of teenage volunteers who have no experience, no understanding of admin, are absolutely clueless about basic animal care and how to run a rescue or how to even have a clean freaking cage for an animal. Jesus Lord Almighty. These are the people that are attacking me right now, and I'm absolutely freaking over it. Anyway, yeah, I swore a little bit this time, and yeah, I cleaned up compared to what I want to say. So anyway, the calf is going to end up being a victim of this because he's not going to stay with us. And I don't know where he's going to end up, but more than likely, like I said, for what I know, there's no other farm sanctuary. So if he's going to end up someplace that they're going to put him in a herd where all the animals are going for meat anyway. I don't know in what province. The veterinarians, of course, don't really have any experience with trying to keep cows alive and healthy and loved for a long time. They still haven't really acknowledged that they suffer from pain or any diseases that we should prevent them from having. So there's a real lack of veterinary capacity in taking care of farmed animals, as there is worldwide. I mean, like, don't look at my country for an example because we are not doing it right. But we do have farm sanctuary veterinarians. See, we're a farm sanctuary and we're trying to reopen the clinic again, even though obviously that just invites a whole new level of stress. So excited. So I don't know what's going to happen to him. I doubt they know either. Frankly, they never have for the animals. And yeah, I'm lucky we had the veterinary clinic. We're able to help a lot of the animals that they brought to us. I remember the hardest thing about losing that clinic was remembering where they were going to go now at that point if they weren't able to get proper veterinary care, which they wouldn't. So that's what happened, and I had to deal with that. And yeah, I really just wanted to crawl under a rock and die when that happened. It's interesting because the organizations which I had been giving free or almost no cost care to, interestingly disappeared when that vet clinic closed. It's amazing. It's amazing how much they love you when you have free shit for them. How they could give two shits when I'm stuck alone in a shelter with 60 animals, no veterinarians, no money, starving to death. Yeah, they didn't notice. It's not really their problem. They'll just get a whole new round of volunteers in the next week anyway, and they're all gonna be like 18 and adorable and love kitten videos and emojis. So yeah, I'm fresh out of fucks, guys. So if you got a problem with that, I'm welcome to hear it. I'm not gonna listen, but you go ahead. Anyway, welcome to my life. Director of Vietnam Animal Aid and Rescue. Ah, no good deed goes unpunished. I sure do love my punishment. So, have a great day.